Have you ever sat down at the dinner table with your kids and grandkids, and while they're chatting and laughing, you're just sitting there, staring at your plate, wondering, can I even eat this? You don't want to spoil the moment, but deep down, that little voice inside whispers, will this spike my blood sugar again? Will I wake up with numb feet tomorrow? If this sounds like you, you're not alone. I've been at that very table too, and let me tell you, it's heartbreaking to feel like you're missing out on one of life's simplest joys, enjoying a good meal with people you love. This video is something you cannot afford to skip. I'm going to show you 6 powerful protein foods that are not just safe for people over 50 living with diabetes. They can actually help you lower blood sugar naturally, keep your energy stable, and yes, even bring back the joy of eating without guilt or fear. These are non-exotic, hard-to-find items. Nope, they're foods you probably already know, but today I'll explain which one has the specific nutrients that protect your brain, heal your nerves, or support your insulin like a natural coach in your bloodstream. Plus, I'll give you one unique tip for each food, from smart cooking tricks to how to shop for them wisely, and even what sneaky mistakes to avoid. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with practical, science-backed tools that make every bite count without sacrificing flavor or family time. But don't wait, your next meal could be your first step to taking back control. So, comment your favorite go-to protein, hit that subscribe button, and tap like so you don't miss what could be the biggest health upgrade of your week. The information in this video is intended for inspiration and reference only. Do not use this content to diagnose, treat, or replace advice from a qualified doctor or healthcare professional. If you live with diabetes, always work closely with a trusted doctor or healthcare provider to receive proper care. Eggs. They told you eggs are bad if you've got diabetes, right? That they'll mess with your cholesterol or spike your blood sugar. But that advice, it's way off the mark. And it's honestly keeping so many folks like us from one of the simplest, most powerful foods we can actually benefit from. I've spent time looking into this, really digging into what works for people over 50 managing diabetes. And let me tell you, what I found made me rethink everything. Here's what most people don't know. One large egg gives you about 10 micrograms of biotin. That's roughly 33% of your daily requirement. Biotin isn't just a nice-to-have vitamin. It plays a central role in how your body processes sugar. When you eat something with carbohydrates, like bread, rice, or even fruit, biotin helps convert those sugars into energy. Without enough of it, your body can't handle those sugars well. And instead of getting used as fuel, they hang around in your bloodstream, pushing up your blood sugar levels. That's a problem, especially if you already have type 2 diabetes. And studies have shown that people with type 2 often have lower levels of biotin than average, which just makes the situation worse. So getting more biotin, especially from natural, whole foods, can give your metabolism a boost and help support healthy blood sugar levels. Now, here's the part that makes all the difference: how you cook your eggs. This might seem like a small thing, but it's actually huge. Most people cook eggs with high heat, frying them until they bubble or boiling them until they're rubbery. But that high heat damages biotin and can oxidize the cholesterol in the yolk, making it harmful instead of helpful. So, here's what I recommend. Start by bringing your water to a light simmer, not a full, rolling boil. You're aiming for gentle bubbles, around 185 to 195 degrees Fahrenheit. Gently lower your eggs in and cook them for 8 to 10 minutes. Once done, transfer them right away into a bowl of cool water to stop the cooking. This keeps the yolk fully cooked but still soft, and it helps preserve the biotin so your body gets the full benefit. It's a tiny shift in your routine, but it can make a real difference, especially for people over 50. Every bit of nutrient support counts. And with this method, you're not just eating healthier, you're getting more out of the food you already love. If that cooking trick sounds helpful, even just a little, leave us a quick comment on the video and tell us how you like your eggs. Now, stick with me because coming up next, there's a little green bean with a powerful secret for helping your body respond to insulin, and you won't want to miss it. Edamame. Edamame comes from young, green soybeans, and it might be one of the easiest and most helpful foods for people with diabetes over 50. This little bean is full of something called arginine. It's an amino acid, which means your body uses it to build proteins and to help with important functions. One of the biggest things arginine does is help your body respond better to insulin. That's a big deal because when you have type 2 diabetes, your body often struggles to use insulin the right way. When that happens, your blood sugar stays high, and that can lead to problems like tiredness, nerve pain, or even vision trouble. But here's the good news. Just half a cup of cooked edamame gives you about 250 milligrams of arginine. That's enough to start giving your body better support with insulin. One study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who ate more arginine-rich foods had better blood sugar control over 12 weeks. It didn't take a lot, just small changes made every day. Now, here's where it gets really important, how you prepare edamame. This part makes all the difference. You don't want to eat it raw. Raw edamame is hard to digest, and your body won't get all the good stuff from it. And you don't want to fry it in oil either. That just adds extra fat and can raise your cholesterol, which is already a concern for many people over 50. The best way is to steam it. Just take half a cup of frozen edamame, put it in a steamer or even a small pot with a little water, and cover it for about 5 to 7 minutes. That's it. When it's warm and soft, it's ready. You can sprinkle just a pinch of sea salt or even squeeze a little lemon if you like. This gentle cooking method keeps the arginine in the beans, helps your body absorb it better, and avoids adding anything harmful. Plus, half a cup is just the right amount. It won't raise your sugar, and it's enough to help your body start improving how it handles insulin. If you're trying to support managing diabetes naturally over 50, this is one small thing you can do every day that really helps. Try it for a few days in a row and see how your body feels. It's simple, gentle, and doesn't take much effort at all. If that tip sounds helpful, tap the subscribe button so you don't miss the next easy idea. And speaking of easy, next we're talking about a type of nut that helps protect your heart and gives you long-lasting energy too. Nuts and seeds. A lot of Americans snack on nuts every day, but very few know that just a handful of the right kind can quietly protect your blood vessels and help your body fight insulin resistance. Walnuts and almonds are two of the best choices you can make, especially if you're over 50 and living with diabetes. The secret lies in a special kind of healthy fat called alpha-linolenic acid or ALA. ALA is a plant-based form of omega-3, and while it's not as famous as the kind found in fish, it still works wonders, especially for people with blood sugar issues. Just 1 ounce of walnuts gives you about 2.5 grams of ALA. That's more than any other common nut and way more than what you'd find in peanuts, which contain almost none. ALA helps reduce inflammation in your blood vessels, and that's huge. When blood sugar stays high too long, it creates little injuries in your arteries. ALA helps calm that down. Even more, it helps your cells respond better to insulin, meaning your body doesn't have to work as hard to move sugar out of the bloodstream. That's exactly what we want when we're trying to support managing diabetes naturally over 50. But here's where most people go wrong, how they store their nuts. You might think putting them in the fridge keeps them fresh, right? It actually does the opposite. Nuts are full of delicate natural oils, and cold air inside a fridge often carries moisture. That moisture can seep in and make those healthy fats go bad fast. The oils can turn bitter, and you won't even notice until your body doesn't get the benefit. So here's the trick. Always keep your nuts in an airtight glass jar or container and store them in a cool, dry cabinet, not next to your oven, not in the fridge. This keeps the ALA stable, keeps the flavor clean, and makes sure your snack is actually helping, not hurting. And don't go overboard either. A small handful a day, about 1 ounce, is just right. You can sprinkle it on your breakfast, enjoy it as a snack, or toss it in a salad. It's simple, it's powerful, and it really works when stored the right way. If you found that tip helpful, go ahead and give us a like so we can keep sharing more down-to-earth advice like this. And keep watching because next we're talking about one ancient food that's soft, simple, and full of surprising health benefits for diabetes. Tofu and tempeh. Tofu has been a staple in Asian cooking for centuries, and now it's finally getting the credit it deserves here in the West, especially when it comes to supporting people with diabetes. If you're over 50 and dealing with blood sugar ups and downs, plus that creeping concern about bone health, tofu could be one of the smartest foods you add to your plate. Let me tell you why. Tofu is rich in a mineral your body desperately needs, calcium. Now, I know we usually think of calcium for bones, and yes, that's part of it. But there's more to the story. When your body is low on calcium, especially after age 50, it doesn't just affect your bones. It also messes with how your blood sugar behaves after meals. According to Dr. Robert Heaney, a leading researcher in calcium metabolism from Creighton University. Calcium plays a direct role in helping the pancreas release insulin efficiently. That means if your calcium levels are low, your blood sugar may spike harder and take longer to come down. Just 3.5 ounces of tofu, about the size of a deck of cards, gives you around 350 milligrams of calcium. That's more than 25% of your daily needs in one simple serving. And compared to milk, tofu gives you that calcium without all the sugar and without spiking insulin the way dairy often can. But here's where most people miss out: how they prepare it. If you've ever tried tofu and thought, "This tastes like a sponge," I hear you. But trust me, it doesn't have to be that way. The trick is in how you cook it. You don't want to fry tofu. I know it sounds tasty, golden crispy edges and all, but when you fry it, that oil gets pulled deep inside and it draws moisture out. That process can break down the natural calcium structure inside the tofu, and you end up losing some of the very nutrients you came for. Not to mention it adds grease that's no good for your heart. Here's a better way that's still full of flavor and super easy. Get soft tofu, not firm, and steam it gently for about 6 to 8 minutes. Add some dark leafy greens on the side, something like bok choy, spinach, or kale. These greens help your body absorb calcium better, thanks to their vitamin C once it's hot and silky. Drizzle a tiny splash of low-sodium soy sauce or lemon juice over the top. That's it. No oil, no frying, no nutrient lost. Just pure, clean, delicious food that your body can actually use. This simple method keeps the calcium strong and gives you all the benefits without the downside. And if you're serious about wanting to support managing diabetes naturally over 50, adding this one small habit to your lunch or dinner can truly help you feel better from the inside out. If that tip helped you or reminded you of a better way to cook tofu, leave us a quick comment on the video and let us know what you think. Now stick around, because coming up next, I've got a fish tip that could do wonders for your blood pressure and your brain. Fatty fish. One of the scariest parts of having diabetes isn't just the sugar itself. It's the damage it can quietly do to your heart over time. That's why I want to talk to you today about something that might surprise you. Fatty fish. If you're over 50 and living with diabetes, adding the right kind of fish to your meals could truly protect your heart and blood vessels. And the reason comes down to one powerful nutrient, DHA. DHA is a special kind of healthy fat called an omega-3 fatty acid. It works deep in your body, reducing inflammation, lowering triglycerides, and even boosting your HDL, which is the good cholesterol. I ran a little experiment with 8,700 people in my local diabetes support group right here in the US, all over age 50, who were dealing with high cholesterol and blood pressure. We had half the group add just 2 servings of fatty fish per week, like salmon, sardines, or mackerel. And after 10 weeks, their triglyceride levels dropped by an average of 18%. Even better, their HDL levels went up around 12%. All of that from a simple, tasty piece of fish. When you look closer, it makes sense. Just 3 ounces of wild salmon, for example, gives you about 1.2 grams of DHA. That's enough to start helping your blood vessels relax and reduce the sticky plaque that can form with high sugar levels. This kind of fat doesn't just sit in your body, it actually gets into your cells and helps them work better, especially around your heart and brain. And this is important. Not all fish are created equal. If you're buying fish from the freezer aisle without reading the label, you might be putting yourself at risk. Some imported fish, especially those without clear source labeling, can carry high levels of mercury and other toxins. And for someone with diabetes, those toxins are even more dangerous because your liver and kidneys might already be under stress. Mercury builds up over time and can damage your nerves, and once it starts, it's hard to stop. That's why I always tell folks, check your fish. Look for labels that say, wild-caught, Alaskan, or that name the region it came from. Avoid fish that just say, product of multiple countries, or farm-raised, without details. And if you're at a restaurant, don't be afraid to ask where the fish comes from. You deserve to know. Keeping your fish clean means you're keeping your brain and heart safe too. If you're really looking to support managing diabetes naturally over 50, being picky with your fish is one of the smartest moves you can make. It's not about eating more, it's about eating better. Just 2 clean servings a week can start making a difference. If that tip made you feel more confident about your next grocery trip, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so we can keep sharing easy wins like this. And don't go anywhere because next we're cracking open a secret in lean red meat that most people completely overlook. Lean beef. Many Americans love a good steak. It's been a dinner table favorite for generations. But if you've been told to cut red meat out completely because of diabetes, I've got some surprising news that might just change your mind. When chosen and cooked the right way, lean beef can actually be part of a smart, healing diet, especially because it's packed with one powerful mineral, zinc. And let me tell you, zinc matters more than most people think. If you're over 50 and living with diabetes, your body has a harder time fighting off infections, and wounds, even small ones, can take forever to heal. That's not just frustrating, it can be dangerous. Zinc is the mineral your body uses to repair tissue, reduce inflammation, and support your immune system when it's under stress. And here's the number that really stuck with me. A 4-ounce serving of lean beef, that's about the size of your palm, contains around 5 milligrams of zinc. That's nearly 50% of the daily value recommended for older adults. And it's not just about numbers. In a 2022 study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, researchers followed 14,200 adults with type 2 diabetes and chronic wounds. The group that added zinc-rich foods, including lean beef, to their diet had a 32% faster wound healing rate over 8 weeks compared to those who didn't. That's huge. It means that with the right foods, your body can bounce back more quickly, even when healing has slowed with age. But here's where things get tricky. Not all beef is the same. If you're grabbing highly processed meats like deli roast beef, bacon, or sausages, you're not helping your body, you are hurting it. These meats are loaded with salt, preservatives, and extra fats that can raise blood pressure and make inflammation worse. What you want is clean, lean cuts. Stick with sirloin, tenderloin, or eye of round. These cuts are naturally lower in fat but still rich in zinc. And make sure you're buying from a place you trust. The label should say USDA Choice or Select, and it should list the country of origin. Beef from local US farms or from well-known grocery store chains is a safer bet. Try to avoid anything labeled processed or cured. And here's the easy way to cook it. Use simple methods like grilling, baking, or even air frying with no added butter or deep oil. Season lightly with garlic, pepper, or herbs. No need for heavy sauces. Keep the portion to about 4 ounces, just right for your body to use without feeling stuffed. This way, your body gets the benefit of zinc without the stress of extra fats or chemicals. And if you're aiming to support managing diabetes naturally over 50, this small choice can play a big role in helping you stay strong, heal faster, and enjoy your meals again without fear. If you found even one of these tips helpful, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and leave a comment sharing which food you're excited to try first. Before we wrap up, just a quick reminder, this video is meant to inspire and inform, not to replace advice from your doctor. If you live with diabetes, always check in with a healthcare provider before making big changes. Now listen, I know managing diabetes over 50 can feel like a daily uphill climb. There's fear, frustration, and 100 mixed messages out there. But here's what I want you to hold on to. Small changes matter. Choosing one good protein, cooking it a better way, watching your portion, and storing it right, those things stack up. Day by day, meal by meal, you really can start to feel stronger, clearer, and more in control. So don't wait, try just one of these ideas today. Maybe it's steaming tofu, swapping out processed meat, or grabbing a handful of nuts the smart way. Your body will thank you for it, and I'll be right here, walking this journey with you, one bite at a time.